today we're in the 1987 Chevy S10, and I just want to tell you guys about it because it's got a long history. It's got a very long past, and it's not really made a big appearance on the channel. You guys see me driving it when I make my in-car vlogs and stuff like that, but you never really see me doing anything to it, so I want to tell you guys about it so you guys are kind of on the same page with what's going on. Now, I got this car at the end of the summer, so September 2015. And basically it was a family friend's, and the family friend's dad had owned it. He bought it, drove it for 2 years. His wife hated it, so he put it in the driveway. It sat in the driveway for 10 years. Then they moved it to a barn up in Huntsville, and it sat in the barn until that day that I went and picked it out. It literally has been sitting. It sat with 29,343 kilometers on it, which is crazy because he barely even drove it, and then it just sat and they never turned it on, never nothing. They towed it around. It was mint. So I picked it out of the barn with 29,000 kilometers on it, which is crazy because it was basically brand new. Yes, it had been sitting and it needed a lot of work, but it was basically brand new. And at the time I had my Chevy Cruze, and I was like, okay, the Cruze is the daily, and the S10, which I paid $200 for, is going to be some crazy build. I'm going to do a big V8 swap and all this stuff. And within months of getting this truck, I had priced out lowering kit. I had priced out a bunch of stuff. I have a transmission in my backyard that it's a 350. What the heck is it? It's a turbo 350 trans with a full race rebuild kit in it. And I had a bunch of stuff ready to go for this truck. And then my transmission blew in the Cruze, and everything kind of switched, and the tranny blew, and it needed some work. And long story short, I ended up fixing it, selling it, and I bought the BRZ, which became my new project because the BRZ was a car I wanted forever. So I got the BRZ, and the S10 became more of like a daily. And so I worked on it all through the winter of 2015 and slash 2016, I guess. Then I dailied it for summer 2016, and I've driven it not daily this year, but I've driven it a lot this year. Like, I've next to dailied this car for months at a time, and it's unreal the way that this truck has treated me. But like I said, when I pulled it out of the barn, it needed a lot of work. So basically, it'd been sitting there, untouched, unmoved, flat tires, nothing was done to it. So I hooked it up to like a Y bar, put it on the trailer hitch of my dad's truck. We towed it all the way home. It had a cap on it, which I took off immediately because I didn't really like the look of the cap. And it was like kind of like a homemade one, so it was like super. But then I got to work on it. So this truck needed a new gas tank, it needed gas lines, it needed brake lines, which I bent and made myself. Same with the gas lines. Like, I got the copper zinc, I think it is, where you can bend them and stuff. And I got a bending kit, and I made all the lines myself. It needed pads, it needed rotors, obviously, like full brakes in the front. In the rear it had drums, which I just sanded down the inside by hand, and then got new pads for the rear, and they've been working perfectly fine. It also needed a fuel filter, which was a little bit of a pain because there's not a lot of specifications on these vehicles in like a GM system, like database. So it was kind of hard to find the exact right fuel filter and fuel pump and whole like sending you to assembly. That took a little bit of messing around. I put a full custom exhaust on it, and by custom I mean as cheap as it could get it done to get it safetied, because at the time of getting it safetied, I was still planning on doing like a big motor swap in the near future. So I was like, whatever, it just needs, it's got a cheap, like, it's not a real cat in the front, it's just got a flow-through cat. Then it had like a $20 muffler, which is all blown to crap and it sounds horrible now. And then it's just basically straight pipe from the headers back with that little muffler on it. And it doesn't sound horrible. I mean, it's only a 2.8 liter fuel injected little 6-cylinder, but it doesn't sound horrible for what it is. Anyways, then I cleaned the interior. I gutted the entire interior, had everything taken apart. I cleaned out all the little mice poops and crap that was built up in here, and I threw it all back together. I fixed the heat, and the blower fan and everything was broken here. I had to replace every single light bulb in the truck. I repainted the gauges, like a metallic-y kind of blue. I don't know. I thought it was cool. The dash is not horrible. It's obviously not nice. It's pretty cracked and pretty broken, but compared to a lot of other things that its age, I mean, the dash it's doing okay. I had to rebuild the wiper motor. I had to obviously get new wipers, and then I took off the front bumper and I completely sanded it down, repainted the front bumper. The back bumper didn't actually need as much work. I clay barred the hell out of this car for like a full day. I clay barred it and waxed it, tried to bring the paint back to life, which it did okay. There's some spots where it's just super faded and rough, like the roof, and you can't get it out. But there's other spots where, you know, it's not too bad. I took the rims off, and because they're 14s, I actually was able to buy a little sandblasting unit that the rims fit inside of. So I picked that up and I sandblasted the wheels, painted them the color of the truck so it matches. I put like $25 wheels on it. I still have all 4 center caps and all 4 beauty rings that go all the way around, so that looks extra dialed. What else did we do? This is missing because it was falling apart and gross. I bought a new one from LMC Truck. It fell apart within a couple days. So I have another one that they sent me because the first one fell apart, but I just haven't been bothered to put it in because it doesn't really affect me that much. My rear view mirror fell off one day when it was really hot outside. I came back in the truck and it was lying on the ground. I was like, oh, guess we don't have a rear view mirror now. I put a tonneau cover on the back, and I put a Kenwood single din deck with a little 10-inch kicker wedge sub that originally went under the truck seat in my dad's truck when I was driving it, like when I first got my license. I put it in there, but now it fits perfectly behind this seat here. I changed the rad and the belt at the same time. They were both original, and I drove them for like 3,000 kilometers, and then they started to have issues. They weren't going to blow up, but I was like, preventative maintenance, and I changed them, which was probably the smarter thing to do. But the engine's been great. It's got 38,000 now, so I've almost put 10,000 on it in the 2 years that I've owned it. And I mean, it's starting to leak at the seams, but that's because it's sat around for a long time. It sat around for like 27 years, and the seams got hard and dry, and they weren't used to having any pressure on them. And then I pulled it out and I started doing burnouts. Racing this thing around, and it kind of, you know, it took its toll on the truck. But all in all, I'm really happy with how it's withstood what I've put it through. And I tinted the windows, but like, that doesn't really count for much. And I'm at the point where I haven't done anything to it, because when I got the BRZ, I started like slowly working away at that. And now I'm undecided if I should keep this truck all original and just rebuild the engine, redo all the seals, everything, take it all apart, fix it up nice, put it all back together, put a new tranny in it because this one is a little bit iffy, and do it like that and keep it all bone stock, numbers matching, have a dialed truck. Or if I should just go balls out and do something crazy, but I don't want to do a classic V8 because everybody does that. I would do something like a 1J, 2J. Something like that in this would be so different and wild, and that would be the other option. So I'm still undecided as to what I'm going to do with that there, but that's why this truck has never really been in any videos. I'm not doing anything to it because I'm undecided and I don't want to pick a route without having my heart set on that route. I'm sure you guys will understand that because I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who would kind of do the same thing. And now that winter's coming, it's going to be another winter where I have to store this truck and put it away, and I'm hoping over this winter into next summer I'll decide which route I'm going to go. Depending on if YouTube works out, I would love to give you guys a crazy build, but I need YouTube to be working out a little bit more, you know what I mean? I need you guys really in tune with me and on the same page, because that's what's going to make you interact more. So if you guys want to see a crazy build, that's what I'm going to do, because that will work out for me the best. But yeah, I just want to tell you guys the history of it, just kind of give you guys a background of to where this truck came from, why I have this truck. It was the best $200 I ever spent, hands down. This truck's done so much for me, and for whatever it cost me to do it, it's unreal. It's even good on gas. Like, this truck really doesn't use a lot of gas. Leave your comments down below. What do you think I should do to this truck? What engine? What do you think I should do? Color, lower it, bag it. I have crazy things in mind, but I also have just keeping it stock in mind. So you guys, let me know what you think I should do to this truck, and we'll see what happens. So that's your introduction to the truck. I know I kind of never really did one. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope you guys leave me a nice comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully we can do some crazy stuff to this truck in the near future. Peace out, and I will catch you next time.